You're with your partner. Things are heating up. Everything's working just fine. You're kissing, touching, maybe even thinking, yep, tonight is going to be great. But somewhere between the foreplay and the main event, you feel it. That slow fade. The firmness you had a minute ago is slipping away. She's ready. Maybe she's even saying, come on, put it in. Or she's looking down and waiting for you to be ready. And now your brain, which was locked in pleasure, is suddenly running an audit. Wait, am I still hard? What if I'm not? Is she noticing? What if she thinks I'm not into her, attracted to her? That pressure, that's a switch your body can't ignore. And once it flips, you're out of the zone. If that's ever happened to you, you're not alone. It's one of the most common things I hear from men, especially the younger one, and it's exactly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to cover the 3 biggest reasons this happens when you're already in the moment, what you can do to recover right there in the middle of it, and how to stop it from happening again. And if you're not sure whether what you're experiencing is actually ED or just situational thing, I've built a quick free tool to help you figure it out. It's called Vitality Check Quiz, and it takes less than a minute. It's completely private and free, and it gives you a clear picture of what's going on. Now, just because you've lost your erection in the middle of sex doesn't mean you've got some lifelong diagnosis of ED. But here's the trap I see all the time. We love to slap a label on ourselves. It feels easier to say, oh, I've got this thing, than to put it in the work to actually fix it. And I'm not talking about genuine medical condition that needs proper diagnosis. I'm talking about using a label as a permission to avoid change. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't say, I'm bad at routine or my attention has problems, so I don't do it. You built the habit and now you're doing it without even thinking about it. Erection can be the same. With the right habit and practice, they show up when you need them. Not because you label yourself, but because you train for it. Number 1, mental distraction and performance pressure. Sometimes everything's fine physically, but your mind decides to run its own sabotage program. You're mid-action, she's turned on, and maybe she says, are you ready? Or she's looking down to see if you're ready. And in that split second, your focus shifts from pleasure to evaluation. Am I ready? What if I'm not hard enough? What if she notices? What if she thinks I'm not attracted to her? And here's the tricky part. If your partner has any insecurity herself, she might just start thinking, maybe he's not finding me attractive. Now you got 2 people worried in the same bed. And that's the fastest way to kill the mood. For some guys, this gets so intense that they even shy away from things like oral because they feel like they're on display, like it's a test they could feel in front of an audience of one. Why this happened? This is called spectatoring. You're watching yourself from the outside instead of experiencing the moment from the inside. And the more you watch, the more pressure you feel to pass the test. It's like trying to fall asleep while someone's standing over you and say, are you asleep yet? Are you asleep yet? How about now? That is performance pressure, and it's one of the biggest erection killers I see in men. So here's your mini fix for now. Take the penetration or the next step off the table for a minute. Switch your focus to something you enjoy. Kissing, touching, teasing. That doesn't require you to be rock hard right now. Then anchor yourself to sensation. Notice her skin under your hand, the sound of her breathing, the warmth of her body. The goal is to pull yourself out of your head and back into your body. For long-term fix, you can train your mind not to panic when all eyes and expectations are on you. Practice mindful solo session when you focus entirely on sensation without rushing towards an orgasm or any destination. Try low pressure intimacy with your partner. Plan times together where penetration is off limits. This removes the performance goal and let you focus on connection. Use arousal mapping. Spend time exploring what kind of touch and pacing keep you engaged so you can guide the moment when it matters. Over time, this rewires your brain so being watched doesn't feel like a test. It feels like foreplay. If this whole performance pressure thing is ringing a bell for you, the overthinking, the feeling of being watched, the nervous system shutting things down, then you're exactly the kind of guy I made a free 3-day masterclass for. It's called The Hard Truth, and it's a short 5 minutes a day training that pulls the mind, the body, and the habits together so you can perform naturally without relying on luck or guessing. I break down how you train your body for better erection, rewire your brain for connection instead of panic, and build simple routines so it sticks. Link is down below. It's free and it's a perfect next step if you want this problem gone for good. Number 2, physical triggers mid-sex. Not every mid-sex erection loss is about your mind or emotions. Sometimes it's something physical happening in real time, and these get overlooked all the time. Common physical causes in the moment, like certain position, can put pressure on blood vessels or your nerves, reducing blood flow to your penis. Staying in one position too long can cause a slow drop in firmness. Even if you are still turned on, that might happen. Dehydration or low energy can make your cardiovascular system less responsive. Going too fast or using a lot of physical effort early on can spike your heart rate and breathing in a way that actually makes it harder to sustain. And yes, medication from some antidepressant to certain painkillers can make staying hard more challenging. If you notice yourself fading mid-action, here's some quick fix. Switch your position to one that requires less effort from you and increases stimulation. Slow down and bring in more variety of touch or stimulation styles. Take a short pause for water or shift the mood. Sometimes that's enough to let your circulation catch up. And if you're looking for a longer term fix, this is where physical conditioning matters. Pelvic floor training improves erection control and recovery speed. Cardiovascular exercises can keep your circulation stronger and responsive. Stamina focused training in the bedroom, starting slower, building arousal gradually, teaches your body to sustain rather than burn out early. Think of it like pacing yourself in a sport. You don't want to peak in the first 2 minutes and have nothing left. Number 3, building erection resilience. One of the biggest mindset shifts you can make is to stop aiming for never losing your erection and start training to recover faster when it happens. Think of it like sports. Even the best athletes get tired, slip, or lose momentum, but they've trained their bodies to bounce back quickly. That's what makes them great. If you spend all your energy trying to avoid ever losing it, you're putting yourself under constant pressure. And you already know pressure kills arousal. But if you know you can get it back quickly, that takes the fear out of the equation. Suddenly, one little dip in firmness isn't a crisis, it's just a moment, and moments can be turned around. So how to train for resilience? Start by practicing slower starts. Most guys sprint towards the peak, but the body responds better when you build up in waves. Spend more time enjoying the beginning, letting arousal rise and fall naturally instead of racing to stay at max the whole time. When you notice yourself fading, change the stimulation. Maybe that means switching the position, altering your rhythm, or using your hand or mouth to keep the moment alive while your body catches up. This variety keeps your nervous system engaged instead of bored or overloaded. Strengthen your pelvic floor. That's the muscle group that helps you keep an erection strong and bring it back if it starts to fade. It's not about flexing once in a while, it's about regular, deliberate training so those muscles are ready when you need them. And finally, rehearse your mental reset. If you dip, don't panic. Pause, take a breath, and shift your attention back to touch, sound, smell, feeling of your partner's skin. That little pause is often enough to flip the switch back into arousal mode. You're not aiming for flawless, you're aiming for control. And that control comes from practice, from conditioning, and from knowing you can get back in the game whenever you need to. Now here's the thing. Knowing what to do in the moment is powerful, but actually getting consistent at it, building those habits so it becomes second nature, that's where most guys slip. They have good nights, a couple of good weeks, and then life gets busy, Old habits creep back in, and before they know it, they're right back where they started. That's why I created the Empower Circle. It's not just a course, it's a complete ecosystem designed to help you not only fix these problems, but keep them fixed. You get my full erectile health mastery program, the same framework I use with clients in my practice. You get live group coaching calls with me each month where you can ask questions, share wins, and get feedback. You get a private community of men who are like-minded on the same journey, guys who understand what you're going through and making real changes. And you get extra tools and bonuses and strategies along the way so you're never left guessing. If that sounds like what you've been missing, drop the word Empowered Circle in the comment and I'll send you all the details. Or if you want to see everything now, there's a link in the description where you can learn more and get started. And if you've been watching this and thinking, okay, but is there actually a cure for this? You need to watch this video about permanent cure for erectile dysfunction, where I explain exactly what cure really means, what most men chase it the wrong way, and what actually works long term. I'll see you there.